children's advocate, to put it in summary, is to both promote and enforce the rights of children. Children being anyone under 18 years.
Okay.
That is in summary. The children's advocate has multiple responsibilities. We receive and investigate complaints made by or on behalf of children if their rights have been infringed or their best interests not taken into consideration by any major government decision. We also represent children in the courts. We have a legal arm, and then we have the public education arm.
Okay.
Our responsibilities are mandated by the Act. They are all in the Child Care Protection Act. And one mandate is to ensure the public is informed about the Office of the Children's Advocate, its roles and functions and location. Child abuse. We get so many reports of child abuse in its many forms. And there are times when the area of the report may not fall directly under our responsibility, but we will do preliminary investigations and then send the information to the relevant authorities. We also tend to get reports against educational institutions. Well, you see what's been happening to the schools.
Yes.
And children will come that they've been unfairly punished or suspended or expelled. And
so most of the time, is it actually true?
It is true. I mean, they have been suspended, they have been expelled. But what we have to do, we have to look if due process was followed. What we do is to investigate these complaints, provide information. We've had, for example, a number of arrests made where children were abused and nothing was done, and they'd come and complain. And so we follow the process through the courts.
Okay.
We provide legal representation for children in civil matters, but in criminal matters, the lawyers will go as friend of the court and watch proceedings on behalf of the child. And we also provide advice to relevant authorities. For example, when we investigate complaints about a child care institution, or we've been doing so much about correctional institutions, then we meet with the relevant authorities to discuss our findings, to make recommendations, or to seek from them what they plan to do to address the shortcomings we found. The law seeks to prevent some amount of mental and psychological damage to children. I think of one section in the law which forbids the sale or serving of alcohol to children. That's a section of the law that's not well known in Jamaica. That it is a criminal offense to supply, sell, or serve a child with intoxicating liquor or tobacco products. So that is a way trying to preserve their mental and emotional health. There is also one section of the Act, I think it's section 9, that speaks to the mental ill treatment of children as a form of abuse. We do public education on a daily basis, media interviews, briefs, like we're doing now. That's perhaps our strongest area. And we got one report of alcohol being sold to underage children during the recent carnival experience, which we passed the information to the police, because that's really a police matter. No arrest was made.
Okay.
That perhaps when they visited, they didn't see any underage children. Our own investigation officer went out one night, but he didn't see any children as such. But this is something we'll be closely monitoring. And what we would like to see is this tied to the granting of spirit license. For example, if you are in breach, should you be considered for spirit license next year round? That is where we'll move. But right now, we haven't got the hard data and the evidence to support any such request. Advocacy for children with disabilities. Last year, for example, we had more than one meetings with the sector. I remember once about 30 representatives from the sector came and sat in our conference room. And we have made recommendations to the highest authority. In my meeting with the Honorable Prime Minister when he took up office, that issue was on the list of matters discussed. And if you follow the news, a lot is being done now. They're trying to develop these screening mechanisms so that they can be identified in the early childhood level. And I hope eventually when they are identified, there'll be enough services to deal with them. We also did interventions with the Ministry of Education on behalf of children graduating from the Early Stimulation Project. Now this project is for children with disabilities, chiefly mental disabilities. As a result of our interventions last year, 31 children were placed when they graduated from the program. So we do advocacy at different levels, and hopefully we'll have more success stories to report in the future.